Welcome to the Jill Sinclair Show, bringing you real conversations about business and life to help you to overcome your success blockers. As always, remember to subscribe, rate, and review on whatever platform you're listening or watching this. This show is for you. I'm always answering the questions that are coming up in my DMs or from my website. So right now, go to jillsinclair.com. If you've got some questions that you want some answers to, follow me on Instagram, Ms. Jill Sinclair. And I'm also on Clubhouse, now and again, Jill Sinclair there. So we're talking today about graduating and what the hell are you going to do now? There's so many young people that are asking me, Jill, you know what? I got this degree in business, in marketing, and whatever it is, and I don't really know if I want to pursue this. And to them, I say, well, that's okay if you don't know if you want to pursue that, because guess what? No one has the roadmap for life. In fact, I'm going to share this. I shared this a little bit last week about that my jobs in my life. I've had over 72 jobs in my life. That's a lot. Let me give you a little sampling and some of the jobs that I've had. I have been oh my God, listen to this one. I have been a speed dating host. What? Yeah, speed dating host. I've been a self-defense instructor, for goodness sakes. I've worked with the federal government. I have been an elementary tutor. I've been a daycare attendant, a radio show host, a little bit different than a podcast host, a wine room attendant. I've been a realtor, public relations specialist, a weight room manager, for goodness sakes, sales person in a disposal company, as well as Yellow Pages, Coca-Cola. I've also been a swag seller. I sold swag stuff for the Canucks years and years ago. I was a bingo attendant, a trampoline instructor. So here's the thing. I am still going to be having many, many, many more jobs and many more occupations and many more, I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm self-employed, but many more opportunities for me to experience and explore more things. And I'm okay with that. Probably by the time I die, I'm sure I'm going to be over 100 of things that I have experienced in regards to careers, jobs, whatever you want to call it. So when you're not sure what you want to explore in regards to a career, that's okay. Start to sample different things. Sample things, just like I did. Oh my gosh, if I was an ice cream store, I don't know why I always go to this ice cream analogy because I don't eat ice cream, but if I was to be an ice cream store, look at how many flavors of things I've tried. I've tried so many flavors of things, and I have enjoyed pretty much every one of them because it's given me different insight into humanity, into different industries, into different things, and I wouldn't be able to be such an effective coach if I didn't have all this experience. Now, I'm speaking for myself, obviously, but when you're looking to oh my God, I'm so stressed, I don't know what job to pick, well, don't be stressed. Here's the thing. I want you to breathe deeply, and I want you to look at, what do you like spending time doing? Now, aside from sleeping, unless there's a professional sleeper out there, there probably is some sort of thing about a sleep apnea or whatever that you can be a part of, and that could be your job. But aside from being in bed and sleeping, all that kind of stuff, what do you like to spend your time doing? Is it something are you someone who's competitive on some sort of game? Are you a gamer? Could you make money off of being a gamer? That's a possibility. There's people at EA Sports that's what they do. They test games. They need people for beta testing. They need that kind of stuff. Are you someone who loves to paint? Maybe you don't know. Have you even tried painting? What are you looking to explore? Do you love to cook? Do you love to teach? Do you love to instruct? Do you love sports? What do you love to do? And look at the possibilities that you might be able to explore with that. Let's talk about sports. Say you have graduated from high, I can't even think. You graduated from high school, you've graduated from university, college, whatever it is, and you maybe got a degree in marketing. And you're looking at, okay, what the hell am I going to do? But you love sports. You are playing that frisbee game, ultimate, whatever it is. You're always doing sports. Well, why don't you look at becoming a marketing manager for a sports team, for goodness sakes, right? You could be a marketing manager. You could jump in and you could be someone who does the public relations for all sports agencies. You could also work with a sports agent. What? There are so many jobs out there that we don't even know exist. And here's the other beauty of life. If a job doesn't exist, simply create it. Years and years ago, I remember I was going, I was still an entrepreneur, and I remember there was this owner who had multiple car dealerships. And I thought, you know what? They don't really have an online presence. They don't have a lot of things going on aside from their ads, and they're in the newspaper. I mean, they are so archaic with what they were doing with their marketing. So interestingly enough, one of the owners, he phoned me and he said, Jill, we need help with just this small kind of little coaching thing. And when I dug deeper into what the business was, I realized like, oh my gosh, they need someone that is going to be a community manager that is doing more outreach with the community as well as developing a social media plan for them. So basically I pitched them this idea and created my own position. I created my own position. Now, this is what I'm saying. Be creative and see what value you can add to an industry and then go after it. Because again, your future, your life is your creation. Just because a job doesn't exist doesn't mean that you cannot create it. So my friend, create a job. So let's go back to the sports analogy. So again, if you're in marketing, but you've got a business sense about you, you could go into also training. Do you want to become a trainer in the sports field? I've got a friend and she works with the Brooklyn Nets. That's a basketball team, by the way. She is in physio for them. How amazing is that? She had always wanted to work with this professional sports team. So she put her head down. She put it down as her goal. She would write this down. And then she manifested this into being. Obviously she's got the skill set to do it, but she really, really wanted this. And who do you know that's working with a professional sports team? What? So again, create your own possibilities. Create your own paradigm. So if you are in marketing and you want to work in the sports field, you could work with the city. You could work with developing new sports programs for underserved youth. You could work with different organizations. You could work with the municipalities. You could work with the province. You could work with new things that are coming out for young people across wherever you're living and listening to this across your country, wherever that is, Canada, US, over in the UK, wherever that is. There are initiatives that are being formed right now that you can be a part of, and you can start to create again for yourself. Find out what is a need that people have. What is the biggest problem that you can solve? Now, this was, I heard this years ago from a businessman. He said, you know what, my biggest advice to anyone who asks me in business is, what is the biggest problem that you can solve? And then just proceed to solve it. So when you're looking to explore new occupations, try different things. Try different things maybe that you haven't even thought about. And I'm not saying to try things for 3 months and quit, because I don't want you to be a quitter, because quitters never win. But what I want you to do is commit a certain amount of time. Maybe it's 2 years to a different career that you haven't even explored yet. And commit yourself to that 2-year time period to see if you like it. Because again, how do you know what you like or don't like if you've never even tried it? And there's going to be some things you're going to know for sure, emphatically, that you don't want to be a part of, and you're going to cross those off the list. But here's an interesting thing. One of my sales jobs was in medical surgical sales. So I wasn't like a drug rep. I was a drug dealer way back when, but I was a medical surgical rep. So what that meant was I would deal with the doctors individually and the surgeons as well as the hospitals, because it was my job to know what my products were to help the doctors to become more efficient with their surgeries, so they wouldn't have to have all these different, implements from all over the place. We would build surgical trays for them to say someone wanted, they needed some sort of knee arthroscopy, okay, something like that. Well, we would build a tray for that. So you'd have everything that you needed. So what did that do? It made the surgeons and the hospitals far more efficient, so they were able to save money. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because who the hell would have ever thought that I would be selling medical surgical equipment? I never thought that going into sales, but I was headhunted actually by a company. I was one of the number one sales trainers at that time. I was sales people within consumer goods industry, shall we say. And so I was tapped on the shoulder to come and join this team with the medical surgical. And I thought, holy crap, well, I don't really know anything about this, but I can learn because here's what I found out. Doctors on a whole love to teach. They love to be able to share their knowledge. So when you're in the operating room, it was so funny because I would have to scrub down, so I would be all sterile or whatever it is. And they'd say, Jill, come closer. And they'd crack the knee when they're having to rebuild things. They'd show me, like they did liposuction, one of these doctors. Another one was doing a breast augmentation. Someone else was doing a nose job. And they would show me. And I thought initially when you, like, here's the thing. Who wants to go into an operating room? Not a lot of people. I didn't really think this ahead of time. But when I went into my first operating room, I thought, oh my God, what if I faint? Now, the reason I thought about this is because that's what one of the doctors said. Jill, are you sure you're going to be okay being in the operating room? Because we've had a couple other salespeople in the past kind of faint or they get nauseous. I'm like, I think I'm going to be good. And guess what? I was good. I was fine. I never got sick. I never got faint. I was so intrigued by this. So again, if I had my own limitations on me, if I thought that, I don't know what I want to do, I wouldn't have even explored this or been open to the opportunity to say, hey, yeah, let's give this a whirl. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing to find that I had this aptitude to be able to sell medical surgical equipment. So what is your interest? What is at the back of your mind that you've never really allowed yourself to explore going forward? Like Gary Vee says, just try a whack ton of shit and see what lands. You are young, God willing, universe willing, you've got the time. So don't try to pigeonhole yourself into knowing what you're supposed to be doing for the rest of your life. Because like I said, good Lord, I'm already at 72 occupations or careers, whatever you want to call it, as an entrepreneur and working at a job. It's kind of entwined with me. So look at that. I'm open to all possibilities that are going to happen. So I want you to open yourself up to your possibilities. And what do you want to spend more time doing? Reach out to people that can give you an informational interview in whatever area that you want to explore. So say it is medical surgical sales, say it is sports agency, something like that. Reach out to people. I'll tell you what, people love to help one another. We do. We want to help one another. We want to help each other to be successful in life. So when you're reaching out to those people, you're DMing them, you know what? Simply ask them in a very humble and sweet and kind way. Find out about who the person is first and speak to them as they need to hear and reach out to say, hey, I'm really interested in looking at this career and I see that you're such a superstar in however you want to word that. You have really excelled at this career. Would you please spend 5 minutes just to give me an informational interview? I would love that and be indebted to you forever or whatever you want to say. And then just start exploring that. And I'll tell you what, you are going to be so far ahead of other people because they're afraid to explore different opportunities and different possibilities. So my consult to you and my advice to you is if you don't know what you want to do, that's okay. Go and explore different opportunities. There's a young man I know and he had always wanted to be a liftie. He just graduated from high school. He didn't meet the requirements to get into university that he wanted to go into. So he's going to take what they call a gap year. And so what he did, he wanted to be a liftie because he's a huge snowboarder. So we got him a job at the mountain because he wanted to experience that. Now he knows that he doesn't want to be a liftie for life, which is awesome. He knows he wants to explore, now more than ever, he wants to explore his education opportunities because he wants to get into possibly health sciences. So again, explore what you want to explore because your life, my friend, is up to you. Now, as always, remember to subscribe, rate, and review on whatever platform you're listening or watching. Go to Instagram. I'm at Ms. Jill Sinclair. Give me some comments on that. Give me some DMs when you want some more things to be covered by the Jill Sinclair Show. And also, I'm on Clubhouse, Jill Sinclair. Go to jillsinclair.com. Any other questions you got? Remember, this show is for you. I'm here to answer all your business and life questions to help you to overcome your success blockers. See you back here again.